Who's actually going to get the most out of the EarthLite Sedona stationary spa massage table? Who should walk away and keep their current setup? And does the price make sense for a therapist or a home enthusiast who just wants a reliable surface for occasional work? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Those are the questions that keep most people up at night when they're scrolling through endless options. Because buying the wrong table can mean wasted floor space, uncomfortable sessions, and a dent in the budget before you even start treating clients. Let's start with the core dilemma most buyers face. You need a table that feels sturdy enough for a professional setting, but doesn't dominate a home studio or cost a small fortune. The Sedona sits at 32 inches wide by 73 inches long, a size that's wide enough to accommodate most body types without feeling cramped, yet it's still narrow enough to fit through a standard door frame. The hard maple base is a solid, American-made piece of wood that gives the whole thing a weighty presence. It isn't a flimsy metal frame you have to constantly tighten. That kind of construction matters when you're moving the table in and out of a treatment room because you don't want to hear squeaks or wobble the moment a client lies down. If you're a licensed massage therapist who runs a small office, the Sedona checks a lot of boxes. The rounded corners are a subtle safety feature, no more worrying about a client's elbow catching on a sharp edge during a supine stretch. The Pro-Plush Deluxe 3-layer cushioning feels firm enough to support deep tissue work while still offering enough give for comfort during longer sessions. I've seen therapists talk about this sweet spot between a hard board and a soft pad, and the Sedona actually lands there. For a practitioner who does a mix of Swedish, sports, and prenatal work, that middle ground feel reduces the need for extra padding or a separate table topper. The lifetime warranty that EarthLite offers on its stationary tables adds a layer of confidence if something does go wrong down the line. You're not left scrambling for a costly replacement. Now, let's talk about the people who should probably keep looking. If you run a high-volume clinic where you need to switch between clients every 5 minutes, a stationary table can become a bottleneck. The Sedona doesn't have an electric lift mechanism, so you'll have to manually adjust the height using the built-in hand crank. That's fine for a therapist who prefers a Hansen approach, but if you're counting on rapid height changes between clients, the extra minute or two could add up. Also, the table's curbside-only delivery means you'll need a truck or a friend with a vehicle that can handle a 73-inch-long item. If you live in an apartment building with a small service elevator or limited parking, getting the Sedona to your door could become a logistical headache. Practical strengths become clearer once you picture a typical day. Imagine you're setting up in a rented space for a weekend workshop. You roll the Sedona out, lock the legs, and the maple base stays rock solid even as you lean on the edge while demonstrating a stretch. The flat top provides a consistent surface for both lying and seated positions, which is a plus when you're teaching a group that needs to see the table from multiple angles. Because the cushion is 3-layer, you can flip the table for a quick cleanup without worrying about the foam losing its shape. I've heard a few therapists mention they love swapping the cushion for a firmer pad when working with athletes who need extra support, and the Sedona's top design makes that swap painless. On the flip side, the table's weight is both a blessing and a curse. The hard maple construction gives it a stable, grounded feel, but it also makes the piece heavy enough that a single person may struggle to reposition it without a dolly. If you're planning to store it in a closet and pull it out only when you need it, expect to invest in a small hand truck or ask for a second set of hands. Another subtle trade-off is the aesthetic. The black finish looks professional and blends well with most studio decor, yet it can show scuffs and dust more readily than a lighter color. Regular wiping with a soft cloth keeps it looking sharp, but you'll need to stay on top of that if you have clients who are particularly meticulous about cleanliness. Value for money is where the Sedona really starts to stand out. The price point sits in a middle range compared with other premium tables that either cost significantly more for an electric lift or cut corners with cheaper wood composites. What you're paying for is a table that will hold up for years, backed by a lifetime warranty that isn't just marketing fluff. In real terms, that warranty means you won't have to budget for a new table after a few seasons of wear. For a therapist who plans to use the